the San Francisco 49ers.
Mm.
Katie Mox's San Francisco 49ers, a 7.5-point favorite as of 1:00 p.m. on Thursday against the Cleveland Browns with an over-under of 37.5. And the reason I mention this is that if you go to Sportsline and you go and look at actually, I look like a retired, somebody told me I look like a retired offensive guard in this photo that they're using on me for Sportsline.
Not a bad look.
I guess. I mean, like, hey, you look like you used to be fat.
Yeah, they all thin out after they.
But I have the Niners in as a best bet at -6.5. And I think if you click on the page where you can see what the Sportsline model makes it a slight lean towards San Francisco at -7.5, a C grade pick. You get an over-under pick in terms of the model as well. And then you get a bunch of expert picks in there. Larry Hartstein, our boy, the maestro, has San Francisco -4.5 in here. And if
How did he get that?
Because he put it in on Monday at noon. And so if you watch
4 at Monday at noon, I thought it was already at 6. Wow.
It was up to 6, I think, by the time we did our early odds show on Monday. But like, this is the whole point about the Sportsline thing. Yeah. If you sign up, it's $1, y'all. Mm-hmm. Promo code PICK at sportsline.com/join. You would have gotten an alert that Larry is putting in this 4.5 pick, knowing it's unclear if Deshaun Watson will be healthy enough to face the surging Niners after sitting out the Week 4 loss to Baltimore. I would point out, too, Deshaun Watson did not practice on Wednesday. He did not practice on Thursday. We got that news right before we came on air. And the most important thing here, Kevin Stefanski said last week, he's like, well, we thought Deshaun could play, but ultimately it was his decision not to. So the dude with a fully guaranteed contract is like, nah, I ain't playing with a bum shoulder. Why would I? And he ain't doing it again this week, which means PJ Walker,
meanwhile, the guy that had his face burned off is on.
Yeah. Well, actually, Katie, you're the Niners fan. What do you think about this game and this line at 7.5?
Well, y'all know me. I don't like to. I think because I'm too superstitious or whatever. I don't like to play the spread, even though, depending on where you got that Rams game, the Niners have been, perfect against the spread or just one push and or loss there again, depending where you got the line against the Rams. I like the team totals. I've been playing the team totals. I'm doing it again this week. It's at 22.5. It's hit 5 weeks in a row. The Niners have scored at least 30 points in every single game. They got a top 3 offense, top 3 defense. Yes, the Browns have a very strong defense, number 2 scoring defense in the NFL at just 15 points per game. But Dallas was supposed to be a big test for the 49ers, and we all know what happened last week. The Niners were able to completely neutralize Micah Parsons, so I look for them to do that again. And like you said, Deshaun Watson, do not practice. They allowed the Ravens to drop 28 on them. So for the Niners to get over 22.5, we saw it last week. You can neutralize Christian McCaffrey, but then you open up George Kittle to have 3 touchdowns. Juszczyk is going to get a touchdown. So there's just so many different moving parts with this 49ers offense. I'm just, per the first 5 weeks, no one's been able to stop them, and I think they keep it rolling.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the windy conditions. There could be enough wind to matter here. We saw the total collapse, not just because of the Watson injury, but I think and also due to the weather, because we've seen some of these other games, including the Thursday night game, which I know we don't cover because this comes out as a pod on Friday, but that's come down too. And so if weather's a factor there, I think it really benefits Cleveland, where they don't have to rely on the quarterback, whether it's Watson, whether it's PJ Walker, and they can really grind it out with their run game, which should be pretty good. Even though they've dealt with injuries on the offensive line, we'll see how many of them practice and play in the game. But I think that really helps out Cleveland to make this a lower scoring game, one that they can cover. At the 7.5, I would only look to Cleveland. I'm not going to play San Francisco at that number. So we'll wait to see injury reports, especially on the offensive line. Not really that concerned about quarterback, considering what the conditions will be. And I might be on Cleveland.
Ooh.
Yeah, but 6.5, you would take San Francisco, right?
No, I was waiting for 10 inflate. We talked about it. We also do Larry and I do the Early Edge NFL preview every Tuesday.
Oh, do you?
Going to promote that show. And he with Coach, and he was on San Francisco on that show too, at whatever the number was. And I said, yeah, I'm still not playing that. I'm going to wait till it goes up and up and up. And then if I play it, I'm going to play the home Browns.
Who's this Coach person? I've never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Who?
The guy I think
who?
Cleaning the floor with you from my understanding.
There's a bunch of BS, dude. It's all these primetime games that we have to pick. Somehow I'm like,
your best bets are on Sunday, not people. You're lucky.
I look like an egg on TV, and I look great on this podcast somehow. Prop, anything for you in Cleveland, San Francisco?
No props out for this game yet. Really hard to have a lot of confidence in Cleveland's offense. If PJ Walker's playing quarterback, Jerome Ford is questionable. That'd be an obvious downgrade for their running game if he's unable to suit up. But yeah, no props yet.